Okay, it's Sunday, May 3rd. I'm a little crusty this morning, so I'll try and keep this brief. A few people I know were asking me for an update. Yeah, I'm in deep trouble here, space-wise. The greenhouse tomatoes are pretty big. We've had the nicest spring, they say, March and April. Have been the nicest for the last 6 to 12 years. These tomatoes are in their final pots. I won't go any bigger than that. I won't go any bigger than that because I don't want to dig a hole that big to plant out. I actually gave away about at least a dozen of them last weekend to try and help myself out, but it can still freeze in the second week of June here, so I don't want to plant these out for at least a few weeks. So I'll probably plant out this celery. It's frost hardy. Today I'm fixing to transplant, repot my peppers. I seeded those February 1st. And I'm going to upgrade the pot size to their final size, same size as the tomatoes. I seeded my tomatoes March 11th. That's about when I usually seed them, but like I said, we've had such a nice spring, that's why they're so big, I suppose. There's my winter onion. Here's something I'm pretty excited about. This is my pepper dome that I use to keep my peppers from freezing till just before Halloween there in the fall. I seeded a bunch of lettuces March 1st, and I shoveled the snow and I got them in here April 12th. We've had lots of -5 and such, but the lettuce is doing quite well. I also threw in a few early cabbage and some bunching onions there. So yeah, I'll be eating lettuce here in another week or two. I gambled and won on that this year. Oh, and Dale Calder gave me some of these sunberries. I got 3 of them germinated. I give one away already. I'm going to repot these. These are an annual berry. I'm going to throw them in giant pots and see how that goes. I think they came in directly from Harold out in Ontario there. Yeah, this year I'm not gardening so much in my own garden here. I've prepared to delve into the world of growing potatoes in pots. We'll see how that goes, chums. I'm going to put peppers and tomatoes in these pots, and then I'll put the potatoes in the big pots there. One thing I'm going to do is line them with newspaper so the dirt doesn't run out of these holes. That was a tip given to me by the nice lady that sold me these pots. I drug all these out from under the deck and watered them and conditioned them a little bit. The wife's going to start planting out her flowers into these boxes. What we do is we open the garage door in the morning and close it at night. Keeps them warm at night. And they get the sun during the day and I don't have to move them around. There's me onions and me leeks. I got like 3.5 flats of onions and leeks each. It's going to be the year of leeks for me. Lots and lots of leeks. I'm going to dehydrate a bunch and freeze a bunch, so I'll have leeks for a number of years, I think, after this year. I've got like 200 leeks. And here's something that I've kind of learned, I think. I usually seed 1 seed per cell in my onions, and then it is what it is. This year what I did, and these are kind of poorly looking onions. What I did, so yeah, I seeded those onions in one of these things, and I seeded, of course I just seeded the heck out of it. But you know what? They didn't seem to like being transplanted like that, so I don't know if I'm ever going to do that again. I don't know. Like I said, maybe I did something wrong. But my preferred method for onions and leeks is to put 1 seed per cell. I found that the leeks like to be transplanted. They'll take it. Yeah, you can see some things are coming to life here this spring in the wife's flower bed. These little sticks, of course, where my peppers were in the fall. Garlic is up. I was going to plant my onions and leeks out at my parents', but I figure since I've got alliums here anyways, I thought maybe I would plant them out here. You can see all the leaves that I had my garlic mulched in. So I figure if I got garlic, I might as well have a successful leek and onion crop here as well. The main purpose for me is I wanted to not plant potatoes here, so no tomatoes and no potatoes and that sort of thing. I finally got around to the creating the Bruce Pender edging here for the wife's flower bed. I strung out a string line and did the edging, so hopefully the whippersnipper will work to keep that neat and tidy this summer. Mayday tree just coming to life. So yeah, maybe this week I'll plant out my onions and leeks. It's a little bit early, but you can see they're fairly big now. They should be planted out. The onions anyway. My handy dandy little trolley, wheel it in at night so when it's frozen outside it's not so in the garage. And here's some more cabbages and kale and stuff. I'll plant that out at my parents' here in the next few weeks. Here's something that I found out. These kale plants look a little pathetic. One thing I've learned this year is that I only wanted a few kale, so I seeded them in a 6-pack like this. I put 3 cells of kale and then 3 cells of another cabbage. And what happened is the kale come up first, and I was still waiting for the cabbage, so I left the clear plastic dome on and left it on the heat mat and all that. And naturally the kale got leggy. It got leggy because it was still under the dome and exposed to the heat mat and all that. And these plants will probably be pathetic specimens for their whole lives now because of that. So I'm not going to mix seeding different things in the same 6-pack again. Because they germinate at different times, it's not very handy for removing them at the key time. I've been pulling flowers off of my peppers here and flower buds for the last few weeks. I'll probably do it for another couple weeks yet. These peppers are a good size. They're not too big. They're probably a little bit root bound. And there's some more brassicas in there. This is a barrel with Jerusalem artichokes. Nothing popping through yet on them, so we'll see what happens with that. Chinese cabbage. No aphid problem this year. The aphids literally ate it on me last year. Anyway, that's where we're at. Hope everybody's enjoying their springtime activities wherever you are. Depressing.